Contestants, good evening.
Good evening.
Team Lionheart and Team Reflex. I'd like to introduce the judging panel for this evening. I'm Tony Riley, Country Director from the British Council Sri Lanka. And this evening we have Vinod Hydramani, Director of the Hydramani Group. Hydramani Group are one of Sri Lanka's leading apparel companies. We're very pleased to have them as partners with Ideators this year. And our guest judge this evening is Nadina Fernando from Ceylon Cold Store Elephant House, who are our episode partners this evening. Nadina will be sharing with you his views on the way you've performed in today's challenge.
On an overall aspect, I think both teams missed the plot in terms of what we as a client was looking at.
Who actually came up with the mask concept?
That was Adam.
Can you explain why? How does it fit in with what you were asked for?
So the briefing was to work out what Lankan to the last drop means to us. So we took something quite traditional in the Sri Lankan culture.
Adam, the objective was to be a little innovative and creative. So traditional mask that you designed was nothing new.
We didn't go for the normal, like the traditional earthy colors, the oranges, the browns. We had bright, very youthful colors on it, which is also your goal, your focus, young clients. So we just threw in some really bright colors. I don't know if you'll notice, like even the prints, they're very more like modern.
Who chose that?
Well, as a team, we all agreed to.
No disagreements at all?
No.
United from the beginning
Yes.
in terms of the number of ideas, other ideas you had?
Yes.
There was a lot of white space.
Well, what we thought was
that a
this.
particular reason why you all did it?
Yes.
Or
The white space was really handy when the mask and the tongue was really standing out. That really made the creativeness that we had stand out, what we had in our heads.
I think we can move into Lionheart. So can we have the team leader summarizing for us in terms of the visual that you guys designed for today's showcase?
We had a few basic ideas, like just bits and pieces of it, of what we wanted in there, and then we singled it out into a concept which evolved as we spoke about it, and that's when developed the idea for this one big drop of KIK Cola. It's a play on Lankan to the last drop, but in this last drop there is so much. There is this youthful teen who represents, the 16 to 22 age gap, and he's surrounded by these elements that seem to describe energy and motion. Finally, we have this boy in the middle with kick on his shoulder, so he's basically kicking out, kicking down doors, going forward, being energetic.
Just to interrupt, was there a particular reason why the KIK logo was put on the sole? Was there
to draw attention, simply. Because we wanted to actually see how we could make it stand out three-dimensionally. And what we came up with was the heel would be best. We decided, like the sole of the shoe.
So again, the use of space. I mean, was that again, there was a lot of white space on the paper?
That was on purpose, because we wanted to draw attention to what was happening with the bottle and the drop.
And we wanted obviously the shape of the drop. So if we made it taller or wider, it would have kind of deformed the droplet, which is what we felt was really important to the concept.
As a team, do you guys think that the design that you all came up with serves justice to the brand objectives?
Yes, we think so.
How about Team Reflex?
Yeah, definitely. Also, something I'd like to mention is this. I mean, if you're thinking of taking this to an international level, they would love to see something unique to Sri Lankans. If you all look at your billboards already, you all have the teenage attitude to it already. So we thought that maybe you all would want something new to KIK Cola, a new look to it, but still sticking to that tagline of yours, that slogan, still conveying their message.
I think the time has come for our episode partner to announce a winner for this week's episode.
Winner is Lionheart.
Lionheart කණ්ඩායමට ජය. නමුත් වඩාත් වැදගත් වන්නේ පරාජිත කණ්ඩායමින් අද ඉවත් වන්නේ කවුද යන්නයි.
Well done. Okay, Team Reflex. Neither team performed particularly well tonight. Not sure either team would be going away with a paycheck from KIK Cola, but you lost the task. How does it feel?
Disappointing.
The objective that is given to you guys did not talk in relation to mass audience. There was a specific audience that we were looking at, to the age group of 16 to 22.
We came up with this mask was more into, like the tradition, and the youth are getting more distracted from each other. So it would be better that the KIK Cola as a brand representing youth can bring out the fact that the tradition should also be remaining with the youth so that it doesn't die.
So you agreed with the idea, even though it was bad, you agreed with the mask?
It was not bad though, because we think that it just gave the potential to grow the market.
What was creative or innovative in the concept that you guys came in?
Actually, it was all about the colors, because the traditional mask has so many
Considering
traditional
the fact that the colors are kept away.
Yeah.
But apart from...
Actually, we had the snakes around it, and all the eyes were just pointing at the tongue, where the slogan was there, Lankan to the last drop.
Irrespective of even the mask, I even think the branding was very weak. I mean, the kick was right in the corner there. It was just, for me, it didn't do justice to the brand.
I like the kick at the bottom. Like, it drew your eye to the bottom of the page, and the kick really stood out against the white background.
Daniel, you liked it, the client didn't.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I mean, we need a little bit of humility here, guys. Yeah, we all make mistakes. How did the others feel about the leadership of your team?
It was pretty good. The morning was a little bit chaotic in the sense that we were all shouting over each other. It's going to be quite a tough job for Upechi to start off with, but towards the end we were fitting into our roles. We were kind of being a little bit...
Were roles clearly defined?
Yeah, well, we didn't give each other roles or anything. We seemed to know where we would be able to fit in
So roles
to help.
weren't clearly
No,
defined?
I was trying to say all morning that we need to assign people roles, write it on a piece of paper, anything, just to make sure everyone has a clear understanding of what they were meant to be doing.
Well,
You were trying to say it, but it didn't happen. Why didn't it happen?
I don't know, you'll have to ask.
then it happened. It was me and Adam taking care of the stationery. Who went for the printing? It was Ashla.
Just me and
It was, yeah. Ashla took care of the printing, and the rest of the guys were there for
But
the...
it was after
That was after we got the concept developed, so until that we all had ideas getting in.
But then it was
So-
after the stationery where
Hang on,
we
team leader.
needed...
There clearly
Yeah, okay.
seems to be a misunderstanding about whether there were any roles, how clear they
There
were.
were, but it was after everyone had got the printing and the stationery. That's fair enough, that was sorted, but it was after that we weren't defined clear roles as such.
Team leader, if you were doing it again, what would you do differently?
Maybe I could separate, give them a section to work on. Maybe after the stationery was sorted, I would have done that. Concept-wise, well, what we were going for was something slightly abstract, something new and creative, as mentioned. Maybe we could have thought that out more and modernized that mask a bit more, taken it to another level.
So you had a traditional mask, but it was new and creative.
Well, the thing was, we played around with the color and the print on it, so it was not the traditional Sinhalese print on it, and even the snakes, like the colors basically, mainly the colors used.
Chala, any feedback and advice for your team leader for this task?
well, actually, I think Upekshi would have slowed down a bit in the beginning to focus on what the others have as strengths and weaknesses. We actually didn't analyze what we had as strengths and weaknesses.
There were so many ideas, like basically
Yeah.
I think it was Alex who said we all each jot down an idea
Yeah.
and just like come up with something. But again, I think some of those ideas just got railroaded.
Who was doing the railroading? It's quite a strong word, that railroad.
It just went out the bucket.
So if you guys were given the same task, would you all go with the same leadership?
Yeah, I think she would learn from her mistakes. I mean, it's not so much mistakes as something she didn't acknowledge that she didn't have at the time.
What we have to do now is to ask 3 of you to leave the room, and those people are not up for elimination this week.